Ladies and gentlemen, panie I panowie, welcome to the Ergo Arena in Gdańsk, Polska for the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Andrew Wasilewski's Ferris Knockout Promotions in association with Babylon Promotions, K2 Promotions, Warriors Boxing, and Polsat TV. This world title main event is sanctioned by the World Boxing Organization, the president Francisco Valcárcel, the supervisor former world champion Istvan Koko Kovacs. Introducing to you our judges scoring from ringside, Senjovia. From the United States, Adelaide Bird. From Hungary, Ferenc Budai. And from England, Mickey Van. Introducing our referee, Senja Ringove, Hall of Fame referee, Robert Bird. All right, fans, here we go with the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBO Cruiserweight Championship of the World. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance, sports fans watching across Poland on Polsat Sport pay-per-view, and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Gdańsk, Poland, it's showtime! Introducing to you first, the challenger on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing blue trunks with yellow trim, hailing from Kiev, Ukraine. He weighed in at 90.15 kilos. He is undefeated in his campaign to the ring with a record of 9 wins, no losses. All 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, he is making his first attempt at a world title. Here is the 2012 Olympic gold medalist, the undefeated WBO #1 ranked cruiserweight contender, introducing the challenger, Witamy Alexander Usik. And his opponent across the ring, the defending world champion on my right, fighting out of the red corner, wearing a black trunks. He weighed in at 90.45 kilos, also undefeated. His record unblemished, 26 wins, no losses, 16 wins coming by way of knockout. From Wałcz, Polska, tonight, making the second defense of his title, please welcome the undefeated, the reigning WBO Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Witamy Mistrza Świata Kshistov Glowacкі. Once again, a referee in charge, Robert Bird.
Okay, gentlemen, I gave you instructions from the dressing room. The only thing I'll remind you of now, when I say stop, what that means is stop whatever you're doing. Give me a clean break. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Mr. Glowacкі, Mr. Usik, gentlemen, let's do this.
It's been a superb year of big fight matches, and here is another of the most eagerly anticipated in the trade, battle of the unbeatens. 35 wins between these two, 25 knockouts, both very accomplished amateurs, although one standout in Oleksandr Usik, who, although the challenger begins the slight favorite here,
Ladies and gentlemen,
both with huge self-belief, an undefeated collision of cruiserweights that we can't wait for, Tony.
I've been looking forward to this one, Adam, since it first got announced, and you know, I've eagerly looked at Oleksandr Usyk's, you know, reputation, and I've known him personally through sparring with him in Ukraine as amateurs, and he's someone I've always admired, and you know, and looked at him as a really, really top-level fighter. I've known our paths will cross somewhere down the line, but for now, this is his night, his first test at title level and 12-round level.
It's also Kshištof Glowacky's night, the second defense of his WBO title that he won in dramatic fashion, upsetting the long-reigning Marco Huck. And now he's back at home with the fans and desperate to impress. It really is a good one, such a tasty affair.
Adam, I've been looking forward to this all day. I cannot wait to see how this unfolds. You've got the brute force and power of Glowacki, and then you've got the skills, the fast feet and power of Usik. This is going to be great.
One thing we can't underestimate here is Usyk's eagerness to impress. He will meet Glowacki head on. He really, really will. He won't fear Glowacki's big punches early doors, and Glowacki will be slightly. He'll be slightly impressed himself by the eagerness of Usyk to you know, engage him up close, as you can see here. Good left hand there by Usyk.
Yeah, jabs and a lovely left hand by Usyk, who looks big and strong and in absolutely tip-top shape. And relishing this, there was the wry smile during the introductions, as if he believes this is the party, this is the night. On foreign soil as well, as Johnny was saying in the studio, you know, good fighters travel, good fighters are thrown in. Vasyl Lomachenko, who's alongside him in the camp, he was thrown into the American audience early. If you're good enough, you're ready. That's what they believe with Usyk. But this Glowacki is tough, as he showed against Hook. He wings the punches in. He's very aggressive and he can punch.
He is, and Usyk was taken slightly slower than Vasyl Lomachenko was, Adam, but ultimately he's cut from the same cloth. You know, he's won everything as an amateur, a standout amateur in world amateur boxing. He really, really was. Like I've said before, Olympic champion, European champion, world champion. But make no mistake, this is professional boxing, and Kshištof Glowacki is the world champion.
Lovely left hand as well. The extra speed and the positive jab. It's a really good start, this, from Usyk, who's taken the centre ring and looking to punish Glowacki as he comes in.
I'm waiting for Glowacki to start working to the body. He, against Hook early doors, he was getting off body shots quite early.
Welcome back to this wonderful World Cruiserweight title fight on the unofficial card of Grzegorz Proksa, who's scoring it ringside.
Seconds out, please.
Of course, Proksa, who was long based in Britain, and for Gennady Golovkin, who we all enjoyed having with us in the UK, here in Poland, in Gdansk. The WBO defence, once property of Johnny Nelson for so long, then Marco Hook had 13 defences, lost it, going for the record, that 14th, to Kshištof Glowacki, who's coming on strong at the beginning of the second, trying to take the fight now to Alexander Usyk, who comes with all the fanfare. Vitaly Klitschko at ringside, the K2 promotions. He sparred with Vladimir when we were out in camp before the first Fury fight, and he looked absolutely breathtaking. Can he deliver on the high professional stage tonight?
Usyk is having a good look here. He's looking for short counters, you know, and spaces and gaps for Glowacki to offer him, but Glowacki's just walking him down slowly but surely. He's looking for that counter right hook all the time, and he's got to be careful, Usyk, because he can really punch Glowacki with that counter right hook.
He can punch early, he can punch late, and he's got that experience. He took 11 to get rid of Matti Askin, Varel Vicoli in 9, and then Hook in 11, and he went the distance with Steve Cunningham, but he had him on the floor a few times. He's rounded, he's tough, he's aggressive, and will he just be that bit too seasoned for Usyk if it goes long? And it's a big if, Dave.
A little adjustment that Glowacki's made for this fight already is normally his right hand he likes to have a little bit lower, but Usyk's got a fantastic straight left hand, southpaw left hand, so already you can see he's not giving him that shot, and that's why I think Usyk's only thrown one left hand so far in the fight already.
Utilising the ring, Usyk, and out of range there with
the
that
body
hook,
shots.
but he's going to work the body. That's a good tactic, isn't it? Slow Usyk down and try to show him who's boss, Tony.
It is, Adam, but ultimately what's going to have to happen here in this fight for me, although Usyk has a fantastic pedigree from the amateurs, you've got to take him to places where he hasn't been as a professional yet, and as we can see here, Glowacki is putting the pressure on. He needs to get Usyk into a dogfight, and he needs to make it an up-close affair early and take Usyk into the later stages of a tough fight.
We were saying beforehand about Artur Szpilka, the Polish compatriot of Glowacki, and what he did with Deontay Wilder for a good few rounds. He did get knocked out, but he took the fight to him. He was not giving him the space and room that Wilder likes, and Glowacki fights in a similar fashion. The battle of the southpaws here important.
He does, and what you've touched on there about Szpilka is he made it uncomfortable for Deontay Wilder, and this is what Glowacki's going to have to do for Usik. But in means of doing that, he's going to have to take stuff on the way in.
A bet around that for the champion. James Ali Bashir in the corner, who's been a sort of number 2 to the Klitschko brothers for a long, long time. And was also working with Dylan White for a while. Very experienced man for Usik to listen to. In his blue and yellow, the Ukrainian shorts. The physically bigger of the two, the challenger from Kiev, and from Volks in Poland, Kshiштof Glowacki in the black trunks with the broad shoulders and the power and the heart and the belt now, which he won't want to give up. Certainly not on home soil in front of this crowd, and they've really got behind him, Tony.
They have, and they seem to be very vocal, Adam really does, but that's not going to help, you know, as this fight goes on and on. He's going to need to come up with, you know, and put in place a game plan that he will have worked on for many, many weeks and months. They're good shots them up close by Alexander Usik. For me, Usik, you know, should be using the jab a little bit more here and dictating the pace of this fight. He's allowing Glowacki to dictate the pace. That was a very unlucky, it was very, very close there from Glowacki.
What would your final advice have been to both sides with your trainer eyes, Dave?
Usyk's got to box. He's got to keep it long. He's got to draw the sting out of Glowacki, because early doors especially, he's going to be very, very strong. But you've got to take that strength away from him. Keep popping him with a jab, because Usik, he punches hard. So keep popping him with the jab. When he starts dropping that left hand, zip that left hand straight in.
One thing I will say about Usik is he always found a way, in the amateurs and in the pros, he punches through the gloves, he pulls your gloves down. Bit of a clash of heads there.
And there's a cut as well. There's a bit of damage before to Glowacki. Just a little nick. That's worse. Cut by the right eye.
Blood straight away coming from Glowacki's right eye.
Glowacki's got it. He's got to get up close. He's got to bang that body around, and he's got to really take the rhythm out of Usik. I can see this round Usyk's getting into a rhythm with his southpaw jab. He's popping it off. He's finding a few left hooks and left hands in.
You've got to remember as well that although he got through that fight and beat Marco Huck in the big upset, he was down and almost out himself, Glowacki. You can look at it two ways. That's huge heart, huge spirit, but also he can be vulnerable and hurt.
Like I was saying before, Adam, Usik finds a way to get round the gloves. He pulls the gloves down and punches around them, and he also hooks around by the ears and the temple shots. He'll take whatever you give him. He's not a fancy punch picker with straight shots.
Nice left hand from Usik. It's a good round, this, the third. That eye damage has spurred him on, and he's digging his feet into the canvas a little bit more.
He's finding quite a lot of good counters on this round. He's letting Glowacki lean in, fall short.
Yeah, big round for Usik there.
The thing I will touch on is Glowacki is looking for the heavy counters.
To be honest, Tony, I think every shot he throws is heavy. He doesn't know how to set things up. He just seems to, even his jabs are stiff and slow. And that's the problem that he's got. He's going to find with somebody like Usik, who's got good lateral movement. He's fast of mind as well as body.
Keep using your jab over and over again. That's the advice from the Usik corner.
And it's sound advice, Adam. Create a distance between you and Glowacki. That was a good body shot on the inside there from Glowacki. Create the distance between you and Glowacki. You're the bigger man. You are maybe even the stronger man, but if you create the distance, you're not allowing Glowacki to get off, and that's what Usik needs to do. As we'll see here, coming out for a quick start to round 4, he's straight away lined in long straight shots.
Stronger, with the bigger man, 14-3-4, just inside the 14-4 weight limit. Alexander Usik, or the 200-pound division, 14-2-12 for Glowacki. Neither man has tasted defeat as a professional. 151 rounds before this. Glowacki had boxed for 50 for Usik, so obviously as the sessions tick along, you wonder if the experience of Glowacki will come into play. At the moment, Usik very quick on his feet.
Heads coming awfully close together as well there, as on the way out from the combination attack from Glowacki.
And a body shot again, and one to the head, and roughing up Usik. There's a smile there. And if he's been sparring with the likes of Vladimir Klitschko and the bigger boys, he's not going to mind it too much, is he, up close?
One thing I will say about Alexander Usik, he's been sparring and fighting super heavyweights, big men. The physicalness will not bother him at all, Adam. One thing I will say is he's got to be careful on the inside, though. He won't have had much inside fighting. That was a big left-hand swing from Glowacki. Didn't seem to land clean, but grazed across the temple of Alexander Usik.
And that's a good body shot underneath there from Glowacki. They're the keys for Glowacki. He has to nail him with body shots. He has to take the fluidity away from him.
Body shots back from Usik. He says, you throw some, take some back from me too. It's really boiling up this into what we hoped, what we expected, a fantastic world title fight in the cruiserweight division.
You will find with Alexander Usik, he'll stand there, trade, and it'll be a kind of whatever you can do, I can do better, and that's what he's good at doing. He's great at adapting and firing back with very similar shots that you can actually hit him with.
But it's all very well doing it in the amateurs, doing it at WSB, doing it in the shorter round format. He's got to do this over 12 rounds unless he can get rid of Glowacki. No one's managed it so far. There's the jab and the right hand, but Glowacki staying stoic, staying out of range when he can, and then going again towards the body.
Look for them shots, Adam. There you go. The ones round the side of the gloves to the ear. They're like a baseball pitcher's throw.
And blood seeps from that cut caused by an accidental head clash. We've nearly seen out 4 rounds, so after that it would go to the cards. It's so intriguing, isn't it, though?
It's really smart boxing from Usik, but it's such a good fight for Glowacki. Every now and again hits him with something hard around the back of the head, in the body. This is going to be intriguing as it goes along.
This will get more exciting. Stay tuned, because the excitement is coming.
Grzegorz Proxer there gave Glowacki the 4th round. Dave and Tony disagreed.
He's got a joint 10-10 round in there, and I think he had the second round as a 10-10, Grzegorz Proxer. For me, it's 3-1 so far for Alexander Usik.
I've got it the same, 3-1.
There's Mickey Van, a compatriot of ours who we remember very well. Refereed a lot of Ricky Hatton fights back in the day, didn't he? He's there with Adelaide Bird, Ferenc Badai from Hungary. They're the 3 judges. Will they be needed? A long, long way to go in this WBO cruiserweight title affair. The 2 southpaws, sometimes 2 southpaws make for an ugly match. This hasn't happened. There's quality and class in the ring, and the styles have gelled, Tony.
They have, Adam, and I'm quite pleasantly surprised, and it's good to see that Alexander Usik is paying Kšištоf Glowacki an awful lot of respect. The hands are high. He's not giving him easy opportunities to be hit. That's a good counter right hook there from Glowacki. Usik is paying him, you know, the respect he deserves as the world champion coming into this fight.
Good shot from Glowacki again. I wonder if he's got the added power in there. Usyk's knockouts have come sort of 5, 6, 7. They're not early knockouts, even though he's only had 9 fights. He's not blowing them away in a round or 2 like someone like Anthony Joshua's been doing.
No, I think Glowacki's definitely heavier-handed, but Usyk's got that sharp, stinging power. You know, the jab's going to take a lot of energy away from his opponents, and then it sets up his big left hands.
Usyk's always been known as being very heavy-handed. Like I say, it's them puffing heavy shots that come around the sides of the gloves that you can't really see or anticipate that they're going to land. Glowacki loads with everything. That's a nice little short combination inside there from Alexander Usik.
They both had really good amateur careers, though. 103 wins for Glowacki against about 19 losses, 335 victories for Olександр Усик, lost about 15. You know, real stellar careers and great pedigree. And such an enticing division. Denis Lebedev obviously has a couple of belts. Tony, you have the WBC version now. You just want to get all these fights on. It's fantastic times for the fans, isn't it?
It is, Adam, and you know, first and foremost, I would love to unify the division and come up against these guys, but like I say, tonight is the first big test of Olександр Усик's career, and let's not forget, you know, as much as he's done as an amateur, it doesn't mean anything when you step to them professional ropes. He has to show that he's a world champion in the making, and this is his first 12-round contest.
Tony, I think Glowacki's getting quite a few power shots off this round. Some cuffing shots round the side of the ear, a couple of big right hooks. He's doing pretty well this round.
I think he's pleasantly surprised that he knows he can hit Usik, because I think he might have had in his mind, you know, Usyk's being built up as this kind of monster of the division, and you know, he's finding him not the hardest in the world to hit.
See, Usyk's jab is phenomenal. It's a piston jab, and he keeps pumping it out. But every so often, Glowacki's getting over there. He's landing a good shot.
There's a better round this for Glowacki. He has to take one on the way in, but he's delivered plenty of leather. He just looks at the referee there, Usik. Interesting round, and possibly Kšištof Glowacki's. Just got a bit more success, Dave, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I liked a lot of his work there. He was getting up there, he was getting close to him, and he was landing some cuffing, good heavy-handed shots.
This is the kind of fight that Vasyl Lomachenko had against Orlando Salido, but he took it on in the second professional fight, and Usik is taking it on in his 10th professional fight, so I think he will be able to adapt to the pros a little bit better. Ultimately, he's going to have to show here things he's never shown in his career, Adam.
Vasyl Lomachenko at ringside, a two-weight champion. I think he's only had 7 fights. It's phenomenal, really, what's come out of the Ukraine after the Klitschko brothers and their success. It's brilliant to see. This is fight number 10. Evander Holyfield has about a 30-year record in winning the cruiserweight title, the fewest number of professional fights. He did it in his 13th in that amazing 15-rounder with Dwight Coy. It was some fight, that. Usik just establishing a rhythm again. Does he look comfortable to you? Does he look like he's boxing at ease? And if so, that's a really good sign.
He does look comfortable. I'd just like to see him use that jab a little bit more. Like I say, dictate the range of where this fight's going to be at. Glowacki looks like at the moment he's struggling to get close, and Usik seems like he's finding a range and a pace that he's quite happy at. For me, Glowacki, like I say, I can't emphasize it enough, he has to get up close and turn this into a dogfight, something that Usik hasn't been used to.
He's just standing off again, Glowacki, isn't he?
Yeah, and if you notice, he's starting to drop that right hand. As a rule, he likes to have that right hand a little bit low. Now that's going to start inviting Usik with his own left hand, and Usyk's got a really good, straight, fast, hard left hand. So, you know, Glowacki wants to be a little bit careful on that. And I don't get him backing off. He don't win the fight backing off. He needs to put the pressure on Usik.
Usik now seems to be the guy who's on the front foot and dictating where Glowacki goes and how he moves. So it's going to be interesting to see how this fight, you know, keeps changing, because ultimately it's not going to stay the same way all the time. Good body shot there from Glowacki.
Yep. And he whips in an uppercut, just missed, and another one, but the body shots are just creeping in occasionally under those elbows of Usik. He can be hit, but there he goes with a right hand back, and there's the smile through the gum shield, as if to say, I'm in control here. Rat-a-tat with the punches. I'm enjoying myself here. And if he backs up Glowacki, Dave, then the Polish champion's in big trouble.
Yeah, he is. But let's not forget, the first knockdown with hook, if I remember rightly, I'm sure it was a counter shot. It was a counter left hand. So maybe he's thinking about doing that, leading him on, opening up a little bit.
Usik seems very comfortable here. I don't think Glowacki's power's troubling him too much, although he is paying him the respect. You know, he will have studied him and watched previous fights. Good overhand left there from Glowacki. Going the body will show later on in the fight. There's a good combination from Olександр Усик.
Yep, toe-to-toe at the end of that one. Good to see, great action, and the crowd are loving it. A little bit of Klitschko music to add to the occasion. It's been a great year for boxing, hasn't it, already?
It's been fantastic, Adam, and to see, you know, the Olympians moving on the way they are from the 2012 Olympic Games, you know, Anthony Joshua, Vasyl Lomachenko. Now we have Alexander Usik. You know, it's great to see that the generation of the great amateurs becoming great professionals now. So, you know, like I say, boxing's gone from strength to strength. Since Floyd Mayweather, you know, has left us for a temporary basis, we seem to be finding more and more stars to fill his
temporary
boots.
Basis. He'll be back for 50.
After sitting with him earlier on this year, I believe he'll be back.
Usik in front, just on Gregosh's card there. And Dave and Tony just leaning towards Usik as well. Glowacki's had his moments, and there's a long way to go. But he's starting the second half of the fight as he started the first round, Alexander Usik. He hasn't slowed, and that's a good sign for the Ukrainian fans. But still, Kshiштof Glowacki is in front of him, right in front of him. This is how Tony's got it. So flip-flopping a little bit later on, 2 rounds up for Usik. And this is how Dave's got it, exactly the same way, 2 up for Usik. Unofficial cards, and Gregosh as well, 3 at ringside scoring for this WBO title fight, the second defense for Glowacki.
Let's also remember here that Glowacki is the home fighter, and as we've seen in the earlier fights, that did show when it came to the scorecard. So I'm not too sure it will with a fight of this magnitude, but, you know, let's just bear that in mind.
Yep, Patrick Szymanski got the better of Jose Antonio Villalobos on the undercard. Good fight, that. But unfortunate, we felt the Argentinian visitor who'd given his all. This at a very different level. And it's still a fight that can be won by the Polish side or by the Ukrainian side. Usik there just revving it up in combinations, but still he can't deter Glowacki too much.
Look how mobile Usik is for such a big man. You know, he's got great feet, great balance, just keeps floating around that ring. They're good body shots, really good body shots. This is why I'm saying Glowacki's got to go to body. He's got to nail that body, take that movement away from him. Because while he's moving around, he's so mobile, it's his type of fight. If Glowacki can turn it into a dog fight, he's got more chance of landing one of those big bombs.
So the corner should be saying Glowacki to turn it into an all-aggressive dogfight, and for Usik, more of the same and try and back him up?
More of the same, let Glowacki make the mistakes and then counter the shots.
Bit of an alley shuffle too, Tony.
Usyk's picking his shots really nice, and I've always known he's got great, fantastic footwork. It's the counters he must be very careful. That was very close there from Glowacki, a big left hand. Usik must be wary of these counters. These are good body shots, fast hands, and Adam, he's doing it his way. You know, he's dictating the pace, short, sharp combinations. Glowacki seems a little bit reluctant to throw here.
That's a good point, Tony. He did catch it with a body shot, but better work with that quick, dazzling combination from Usik. He tries the uppercut again. Glowacki still very dangerous when he gets close and on the inside, and that slashing left hook. He's got such a will, an iron will, Glowacki. But Usik showing the class and the movement, and surely taking that.
Really good combination there as he spun him off towards the end there, and that's another round for Usik for me.
The eye not getting any better for Glowacki, but his courage and inner strength, it's terrific. Big goal per there though as well. You just wonder if Usik can keep this momentum and just starts to rattle in a few more rapid combinations, whether he'll just sag a bit, Glowacki.
I think Glowacki's problem is, if Usik starts landing those body shots, his hands are going to get lower. That'll open up the gaps for Usik to switch then, to go upstairs. Usyk's very, very good at switching between head and body. When he starts letting his hands go, he picks the spots perfectly.
Well, we're already into the 8th round of this, and it's been compelling, as we hoped it would. No knockdowns, neither fighter dramatically hurt, but plenty of really good shots landed, particularly the body ones, eye-catching, and the ring movement of Alexander Usik and the come-forward desire, and the punches thrown, especially with the left hook and the uppercuts. He's trying to. Glowacki, these are tip-top fighters, and they're threatening you, Tony Bellew, in the cruiserweight world.
They're going to bring it at him, you know, and once this fight's over, someone else has a belt, and we all want to unify the belts. All champions want to prove they're the best champions, so we will see moving forward. For me here, Usik is showing he is the better of the two guys, and he's picking nice little body shots here and there. His foot movements is exceptional. Glowacki, for me, is going to get to a stage soon where he's really just got to go for it, you know, all out and nail him.
Tony defends his WBC version at the Echo Arena on October the 15th against BJ Flores, the hard-hitting, big-punching, fast-talking American. So stand by for that in a few weeks. World titles week by week at the moment here on Sky. And we're delighted to have brought you this one because it's still in the melting pot. Alexander Usik performing as well as we thought he might as he steps up in his 10th fight to try and become a world champion, and he would be a deserved one, but it's still a way to go. And Kshištof Glowacki is not going to go easily. He's proved that, hasn't he, through his career?
Yeah, he's a tough man. He's a very, very tough man, and he's not an easy ride as a champion either, you know. But just looking at Usik, he's started varying the jab now. He's jabbing to the body, he's stabbing downstairs, going back upstairs, and I think he's starting to wear Glowacki out now. He's definitely starting to feel the pace a little bit, I think.
Good jab from Glowacki as he gets closer. Can he back Usik up onto the ropes and just try and lean on him and slow those legs down, because the punches, Tony, are coming from different angles, and the speed is impressive of Usik.
I've always said that, and you know, people pin professional boxing as a one where you need to nail your feet to the floor and keep them planted all the time. For me, you know, a great fighter is a fighter who doesn't get hit much. And the way Usik is boxing, he's dictating the pace, he's dictating the distance between the both fights, and he's doing that purely with his feet. You know, he's creating range. Like I said, the only fault I could make if he used the jab a little bit more. Glowacki is unlucky when he gets close. He is having a go, he is swinging, but he's just falling short and missing ever so slightly as he did there.
I was with Johnny in the Austrian mountains where we got a sneak preview of Alexander Usik when he was sparring with Vladimir Klitschko. I know he's a big fan, and you can see why. Let's bring Johnny in.
Usik has good offensive feet, defensive feet in the movement, how he slips out of the way of Glowacki, and good defensive attacking hands, because when he hits changing from the head to body, he does it really smoothly, really effectively. But now we're getting into the championship rounds. This is where it's going to count. Is he going to get tired? Is Glowacki going to catch up to him? And this is what's important. And maybe this is what Glowacki is waiting for, because he knows Usyk's got fast hands, good feet. So far, so good. I have him just ahead. But Glowacki now, this is about his game plan. This is about his experience. And can he shut Usik down?
Thanks, Johnny. Grzegorz Boxer gave that one to Glowacki. Some of these rounds close. The feeling we get is that Usik is more in control, and that his boxing ability is so far getting him through. Glowacki just occasionally looks a bit subdued, or more subdued than he did when he fought Herc and Cunningham, but he just needs a couple of rounds, breathe some fire, some life into it, and maybe really test Usik down the stretch, Dave.
I think he needs a little bit of success with some power shots, and he's get, you know, maybe 2 or 3 punches off in a good combination. Get a reaction out of Usik. You know, Usik, when he's landing a couple of these body shots, he's getting a reaction out of Glowacki. I think he now needs to get a reaction out of Usik.
I think Glowacki is wary. I think he's felt it's something that Usik has got in them shots, and it's made him a little bit wary. That was a good body shot left hand landed, and he fell short with the right hook that followed, but he's allowing Usik to dictate the pace and dictate the distance, and that is not something I envision Glowacki would allow him to do.
He's having trouble with the long jab, isn't he? The reach, the way that Usik judges distance, because he does that beautifully.
Yeah, and the accuracy of Usyk's punches is great. You know, and I think it's all well and good saying he needs to do this, he needs to do that, but ultimately, if the other man in front of you is a superior technician, superior boxer with great feet, it's very, very hard to implement what you need to do. Look how he's loading up on all those shots, but did anything land there?
No,
it was all going over the top of his shoulders.
Trying very, very hard to land some clubbing hooks, but back with a body shot. The accuracy just chipping away now. Alexander Usyk growing even more in confidence. No sign of him flagging either as he begins to just find gaps in Glowacki's defence.
Like I said before, it's one thing trying to implement it, but after all the things you've said, he's a little bit technical, isn't that? Ultimately, the only reason that will stop Glowacki throwing is because he's wary. Alexander Usyk is hitting harder than people can imagine that he's hitting, and it's stopping Glowacki working up close.
Gets a hook in there and a wry nod from Usyk to say, yep, I'll give you that one. There's a slashing one over the top.
Usyk looking to put his foot on the gas a little bit here. Maybe, you know, a little bit of a trade-off we might get just soon.
Is there a time, Tony, where you can sense around about this period of a fight that, you know, you may have a chance to up it and some good uppercut?
There is, Adam, and I feel that Usyk now, as though, you know, I've had a good enough look here. I've felt what you've got, and I think it's time to start walking you down. The hands have come up a lot higher from Usyk, and he is the guy now stepping forward and you know, looking for them bigger shots.
And Dave, we said if he backs up Glowacki, it's real problems.
It is against Usyk, yeah, definitely, because Usyk's got, it's one thing trying to counter Marco Huck, having success countering Marco Huck, but Huck's crude and slow. Usyk's sharp and fast, and he exits after his attacks as well, so it's going to be harder for him to counter when he's coming forward. And Glowacki looks tired to me. He also looks tired, he looks more rugged.
Yep, jaded, swinging, but not the success. And Usyk gets another round in the bank, surely.
I actually think if he puts his foot down in this contest, you know, we see Vitaly Klitschko looking on here, and Sosnowski in the former contest before. I actually believe if Usyk puts his foot down here, he could get the stoppage.
I believe you're right, 100%.
But
I think Usyk's got another gear. I think he's got another gear, and I think he will do.
What will James Ali Bashir be saying in the corner, though? You know, let's make the statement, or let's win it. And you know, listen, subjective here, guys. Level on Gregor Proxer's card. I don't.
I can't make a case for the fight being level whatsoever. All the better shots have came from Alexander Usyk.
We are in Poland.
You do have a point.
He is the world champion.
I said this before.
We do put it out there.
And this is why
it's been a boxing exhibition at times from Usyk.
Yeah, and this is why I believe that Usyk's going to put his foot down on the pedal. It won't look to just course or just outbox. He'll go up another gear. Has
he saved plenty in the tank, this novice professional, really, but so experienced as an amateur, Alexander Usyk. And can Kshiштof Glowacki come on strong like he did against Askin, against Cunningham, against Hook late on?
He may be a novice professional, Adam, but he has very experienced coaches in that corner, and they will be the ones telling him, let's close this show out.
Body shot from Glowacki, though.
But also, Tony, you're a fighter, you're in there. When you're in fights that go in 8, 9, 10 rounds, you sense and you feel the other man's physical strength starting to drain, and then you know whether it's right to put the foot on the pedal, don't you?
That's what I was saying earlier.
Yes, you do, and you get signs and you feel things in there, inside on the clinches, a little bit of wrestling and the punches that are hitting you. Usyk will know, but I still think he feels that Glowacki may be a little bit dangerous, but ultimately the pace from Glowacki has slowed down, and various, like the head movements has stopped also.
It must be the frustration as well, not being able to see some of these punches come from side to side. He had the eye damage too.
Yeah, then cuffing punches again, Adam, that I say, they come down the side of the glove and the damaging, hateful punches from Usyk.
Still looks big and strong, doesn't he, Usyk? And Glowacki not quite the same figure as he was in the early rounds.
No, he's definitely slowed down as well. Glowacki's face, he looks like a man that's trying to get into a fight rather than a man that believes that he's bossing a fight.
You see all these counter punches that he's throwing falling short, and that's a good 4 or 5 punch combination there for Alexander Usyk. Glowacky's just fallen short with his count. He's just a bit out of range, as we can see once again there. That one got home.
Yep, drills himself forward. You never know, those punches can be catching the eye of the judges, but more quality from Usik, who's really showing what he can do, his capabilities, the reputation he came into the ring with, and he's absolutely loving it in there, Alexander Usik. We may be watching the unveiling of a new star in world boxing.
Starting to push him back now, physically.
You see the smile on his face, the pulling of the tongue.
Oh, for the first time, just goes back on the ropes there. Hasn't happened yet. That's a key moment for Usik, because Glowacki, you just don't see that happening. He's dabbing at the eye. 15 seconds left in the 10th. And it's starting to become heavy weather and tough for the champion, the brave champion, Glowacki.
It shows, Adam, who's the boss in there physically when you see guys getting manhandled and thrown back to the ropes.
It's another big statement there from Usik. I think this is the performance that the two of you were saying off camera beforehand that you thought might happen, but you weren't 100% sure because he'd never done it at this level in a professional ring. But he's just doing what you expected, what you thought might well occur.
He is, and this is what I've been saying about him. You know, I have said he's an amazing fighter, a brilliant fighter, but I've also gone on record as saying I can't agree with that scoring.
I can't agree with that score. I don't know what Gregor's is watching, to be honest.
He is Polish, so he must be supporting his fellow countrymen. That is the only case I can make for that there. Fires. That is my personal opinion. Going back to what I was saying there, I've always said Usik is an outstanding talent, but I've also gone on record as saying he can't be said he's the best cruiser in the world yet, because he hasn't fought the 12-round distance. He hasn't fought a title fight. Tonight he's proven it, and he can make claim to being that, so we will see how it goes from here. But, you know, Glowacki, I am expecting now a big couple of rounds.
A big couple of rounds, and plenty of those 16 knockouts have come late for Kshiштof Glowacki. Does he need one now, or is it closer than we feel?
For me, he needs one. For me, 100% he needs one. But I don't think he's got it in the locker. I think he looks tired. Even his power shots look even slower.
Big left hand from Usik, or is it Usik who is closing in to getting the inside schedule win? Glowacki hurls out a left hand in defiance, but once again, the accuracy of this marvelous Usik, who is utilising the ring so well. It's footwork, you picked up on it earlier, and it's something that's so underrated. You know, Mayweather's, the great fighters.
The Leonards. Yeah,
the Leonards, absolutely.
But it's very rare in such a big man.
Oh, big left hand, right hand. They bounce off the chin of Glowacki. Look at that defiance. Right back at Usik, but they were clean and they must have hurt. They're certainly at this stage in a fight, Tony, that's got to be so debilitating.
That should be showing signs now, Glowacki, but he's showing tremendous amounts of passion and tremendous amounts of bottle to stay in there now, get back. Good counter shot as well.
Yeah, big left hand back from Glowacki. What a fighter to dig down. And he goes for the body as well. And it really is a tremendous effort, but again he gets pinged with a lovely crisp shot from Usik, who's still delivering, even in the 11th round, as well as he was at the beginning.
You see here on your insert, Kshiштof watching this fight, the former WBC champion, watching down here. You know, he's saying what a great contest it is, and he's really hyped up and pumped up watching it.
Amazing, Glowacki coming back and showing that they didn't hurt. Body shots as well. It's a repertoire of artillery from Alexander Usik.
Alexander Usik, we have to remember, has a 100% knockout record so far, 9 fights and 9 KOs. He's going to want to preserve that, Adam. He's going to want the stoppage here. I don't think he's looking for the points win. I think he's looking for the statements and a stoppage.
I think he's looking for the world title, and I think he's hoping that the judges see it, as I'm sure he is seeing it, and that because he's in Poland, there won't be anything controversial. Glowacki, yep, he could have had some rounds. There's arguments that 1 or 2 have been pretty close, but the general feeling of the fight is that Alexander Usik has performed quite beautifully and utilised the ring with his superior skills pretty much all night.
For me, Alexander Usik has produced a cleaner way, the crisper way. He's been the guy knocking the head back, you know, and he's, you know, Glowacki has stayed in there, he's stayed patient and he's had a go, but ultimately, you know, the more classier shots and the eye-catching punches have come from Glowacki.
Look at those shots. Frost has got it by one round. I can't even see that whatsoever. I've got this wide.
But that may be the issue, the subjectivity of the sport, and we might have it all wide, but you know, I bring you back to again just last week with the Haskins Hall fight, so many different interpretations, but it just seems that Usyk's been in control.
But Usyk's landing, and Glowacki, especially over the last few rounds, is landing the odd shot here and there. Yes, it's heavy, but the odd shot here and there. You can't give him a case for winning the rounds.
Final round of what's been an extremely good World Cruiserweight title fight, as we thought it would. So much skill and heart, courage, everything's been shown by the pair of them. The fluency of Alexander Usik and the never refusing to wilt and the come forward attempts, and he's got him there, Glowacki, and down goes Usik.
I think it was a slip.
Robert Bird
slip.
Says it's a slip, but I tell you what, the Polish crowd were on their feet. He was on the floor, and it will give him confidence in the last 2 minutes to really go for it, because on our cards, on all of our cards, he needs a knockout.
Agreed, Adam, and he also hit him when he was on the floor there, which shows a sign of desperation. It really, really does. And Usik may, you know, he's obviously going to see this out now, but Glowacki is coming on strong, and Usik is going on defensively, hands tight, movement with the feet, adjusting that angles a bit. They're good shots from Usik.
Lovely right hand, but remember the punches just bounced off the chin of Glowacki, who's so hardened in this game.
Listen to that crowd, Adam. Or will that show have any influence on these judges?
Let's hope the earmuffs don't spoil this one, eh?
Big winging hooks going in from Usik, crowd on their feet, willing their man. Glowacki on to retain his title. Terrific action in the 12th. It's another really good fight in a standout year so far for both British and international boxing. It's been a pleasure again to watch this one. Glowacki comes back with the left hand. We've taken you out of training for a night, Tony. It's worth it, isn't it?
It is. It's a fantastic contest, Adam, and I've been, you know, hoping to see that we get such, you know, a big star welcomed to the crew. And that's a great 1-2 there from Usik. Glowacki's shown amazing amounts of durability in this contest. He really has, because these are big shots from Alexander Usik.
And Usik showing terrific movement and speed as late on in the 12th round. No failing down the stretch.
No, he's a fit boy. He's very, very fit. But the heart of the champion here in Glowacki, he's had his spots in this round. He's really given it everything. He's caught Usik, but Usyk's always had an answer. He's always come back with something.
He's always been the last to reply in the trade-offs.
Yeah.
Still, Glowacki goes for it. What a true champion. Is he going out on his sword here? And Usik very close there to making a difference late on. 5 seconds left. They both go toe-to-toe. There'll be huge respect. Really good fight. Classy operators. Immense talent. Chin, bravery, skill set, mobility. Those 12 rounds had everything. We could have seen 3 more like the old days. A really, really good fight for the World Cruiserweight title. And for me, Alexander Usik has not only come of age, but he's shown the world how good he is and that he can become a real star.
I think you're spot on there, Adam. I think we've seen tonight, you know, the birth of something quite special. Alexander Usik at title level now. You know, we'll see. You know, I just can't see how they can give this contest against him.
Look at Glowacki's face.
For me, I have it 9 rounds to 3 in favour of Alexander Usik, and I just can't see past how, you know, anybody can have it any other way.
You see the face of Usik and you see the face of Glowacki, and it sort of tells the story. The brave warrior, but the classier technician.
I don't personally read too much into facial damage in fights, Adam, but one thing I will say is the better boxing, the better technique, the better punches, they came from Alexander Usik all night long for me.
Yeah,
By 2 rounds on Prox's card, he's finally come the way of you two, but I think it was a wider margin than that. Very interesting to see how Mickey Van scores Adelaide Bird over from Las Vegas, and the Hungarian, who I don't know too well, Ferenc Abedai, but it surely should be unanimous, and it surely should be fairly wide here, Dave.
I believe so, 100%. You know, the main thing about this fight as well, the cruiserweight division gets a lot of stick because people haven't seen these guys fighting. Because they look at the names, they don't recognise the names, they can't pronounce the names, so they don't give credit to where it's due. The division's full of killers, it's full of great fighters, you know, and Usik to join the ranks of the champions now, he belongs up there now. This is a great division.
No celebration.
Now he knows.
From Kshiштof Glowacki. He knows, he gave it everything, and he was just bewildered by that movement, and the speed, I thought, was terrific from start to finish. Maybe not quite as naturally gifted as Vasil Lomachenko, but I tell you what, the conveyor belt is pretty good out of the Ukraine. He was the Olympic champion in 2012 alongside Anthony Joshua, and he will surely be crowned a world champion in fight number 10. There's Vitali, all smiles. He's not serious tonight.
There's a first time for everything, Adam. It's the first time I haven't seen the Terminator with an actual smile. He was the Terminator of the heavyweight division when he was in there.
I think he's left politics for the night as well, to enjoy what I'm sure he believes is a new dawn for this man, Alexander Usik. Not official yet, but Jimmy Lennon will make it known. Not sure how the Polish crowd will react. Hopefully, respectfully, because it was a really good fight, an entertaining encounter, and there's no reason why Kshiштof Glowacki can't come again. He's a strong fighter. But Alexander Usik might be, Tony, more on your radar than he was about an hour ago.
I'm happy it's happened, Adam, and you know, we've got to await the decision ultimately, but I welcome Alexander Usik to the cruiserweight party. It will be, we have one of the best divisions in boxing and the most exciting.
There was a big gulp from your trainer, Dave Colwell, alongside me. I'm not sure how excited he is. I think it will be a tough fight, whoever fights Alexander Usik next. You can see the qualities, and there's the team around him, led by the excellent James Ali Bashir, who doesn't get a lot of credit because he's always been a number 2 man to the likes of Emmanuel Stewart and others who have been around the Klitschkos, but he has been there.
A very experienced coach, Adam, and people like the Klitschkos do not carry people. They take on people who can do a job, and they are known for being very ruthless men. And like I say, it's brilliant that they've given such a great fighter to someone like this.
Why is it taking so long? We wonder at times. These scorecards, Leon Margulis in the ring now, a lot of chit-chat going on, and you just hope they've got everything in order.
They will, I'm pretty sure.
Look at the two corners, that tells a story.
Of course it does.
Look
he
at
looks
that
like a beaten man, let's be totally honest
His
here.
corner team do everybody, they all know that, they all know that. But as you say, we don't like these delays.
It just gives it time for confusion and worry, but I think ultimately everybody in here knows, and them judges will know. Here we go.
A big
now.
smile, brilliant performance. Let's find out.
We have a unanimous decision.
That's good.
Judge at ringside, Adelaide Bird scores about 119 to 109.
By 10.
Ferenc Budai 117, 111.
By 6.
Mickey Van also scores about 117 to 111.
It looks right.
All three in favor of the winner and the new WBO Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Alexander Usik.
The new addition. Welcome, Alexander Usik, WBO Cruiserweight Champion in only his 10th fight. It was a wonderful performance, and the judges got it absolutely spot on. The bravery of the former champion, Kshištof, Glowacki, not enough for the class, the skills, and the movement of this brilliant Alexander Usik, who is a threat not only to Tony, but the whole cruiserweight world.